another episode of Free Akashic Records readings, set a section guaranteed or your money back. I'm Ernesto, I'm your host. I'll be with you here for the next hour, and I have Beretta here on the line with me. So I just want to welcome everybody into tuning into our show today. We're going to be getting off and taking your calls in just a moment here. But before we do that, let's go ahead and talk about this coming week ahead, Beretta. So, what is it that we need to know? I know in the last show that somebody had mentioned this concept of like an eclipse, and so that kind of got me to thinking because I normally don't like those kinds of things. You know, Uranian astrologers don't pay too much attention to eclipses because that's a single factor out of 22 different planets that we work with. So, I mean, that's just sort of like saying we're going to isolate just the sun and the moon and then say that this one celestial event is going to affect literally every person on the planet and the whole galaxy, and all of the really cliche tropey hallmark greeting card kind of stuff that you normally expect to read. All of that stuff starts coming out. So I got to thinking, and I was like, so is there any validity to this eclipse thing? Because the only thing that is important about an eclipse in astrology is when you have something that's happening that's at a major axis point that's going to be affecting you. So when we talk about something like an eclipse that's happening or some other major transit that's happening in the sky that everybody's really excited about, take a look at that specific axis point in your chart. Do you have a lot of things kind of conglomerating there? If you do, then that's probably an indication that you might want to be thinking about your actions and what's going on in your life at that time, because it may just be a symptom of what you are going through is to have this big thing that's going to come out and you will be personally affected by it. But again, it comes down to if that point in your chart is really active or not. If it's not, then not a damn thing's going to happen. So talking about this eclipse, I did some more work on it, and so it looks like it's going to be about May 5th. And the reason I'm interested in this is because this eclipse, I'm not going to talk about signs because we don't care about that. That's not interesting. If you're watching our YouTube cast, you'll see on the screen here that the sun and the moon on the chart for this given day, that these are both happening right down here at that 45-degree mark. So because we have both the sun and the moon down here on this arrow at 45 degrees down here, I'll make that in a little bit of a thicker shape. Because we have this happening down here, that means that this is going to be significant, because 45 degrees in relation to this 90-degree dial that Uranian astrologers use, that's a major axis point. That's going to affect everybody in some way. So this whole relationship ride, I guess the best way I can describe it, relationship in the most general terms possible. We're not talking about like love and all of that kind of stuff. And that may be part of it, but it might be a relationship, let's say, with your job or your spouse, or perhaps with a child or something else like that, a friend even. That thing is going to finally, I think we're finally going to see the fruition or the big event. That the 5th is going to sort of mark the time when this whole roller coaster ride, that thing that we've been working towards, that's finally going to fall into our hands, and we're going to see that final result. So this period that we're in right now, because we're now in the second half of April, this is where we really want to be careful with our own actions, because this is where that alchemy period is really sort of hot, and we can end up getting things that we don't necessarily expect. I've been working on my textbook recently, and something that came to my attention is when it comes to relationships, the people that we invite into our lives, these are people that can really help us out. They can bring really great things to us, or they can bring times of great distress. I always preach that the people who don't belong in our lives, keep them out of your lives for that reason, because they're not there. Don't try to force somebody there who doesn't belong, because then that's when we end up doing that uphill battle kind of stuff. Essentially, what happens is that somebody else's planets who may not be healthy for us set off things on our own personal chart that are not meant for us, but because that other person has their planet in our environment, that's going to bring stuff to us that we didn't ask for. So that's why when I say keep the people out of your life who are not meant to be there, that's exactly what that refers to, is that you may endure some distress and despair that's just unwarranted. And it can all be completely avoided if you just keep that out, because it's even supported by the astrology that we have this thing here that we have to be mindful of that, because remember, if the whole energy is just universe and or if the whole universe is just energy and it's all alchemy at the end of the day, this is why we have to be really careful of these kinds of things. So Veretta, that was just my sort of 2 cents about what's happening right now. What is it that you have on your end for the second half of April? What do we need to keep in mind?
Okay, well, with the energy ramping up to the eclipse, people are sure, certain people are going to feel that. And it's starting now, but this little gap between now and Wednesday um, is gonna be a little bit of a busy whir. Things flying by. If you don't settle down and get your thoughts in order and your ducks in a row, if you will, you find you're going to have a lot on your plate by the end of the month. And pertaining to this week, definitely you're going to see it start to pile up. So from now till Wednesday, it's a really good idea to sit down and get your thoughts in order, what you want to accomplish, really good idea, what changes you want to make, and put an outline together or a guideline, a blueprint, whatever it is that you feel comfortable with using. And get an idea of what step-to-step technique needs to happen to make that all take place and have it come out the way you want. Now, it's most definitely when the time frame comes a little closer and we talk about, what we need to look for then when the eclipse takes place. There are going to be people caught off guard, because what happens is some big something is starting to move the planet, and they're trying to keep things right. They're trying to right themselves. It's like on a ship. And if you were trying to right your dinnerware on the table with every wave, you wouldn't get anything done but trying to right yourself constantly. No, nothing would matter, because you're just constantly wasting time trying to keep everything straight. So right now it's going to be a really good practice time with just to flow with emotion and learn to eat well, slide across the table, and don't try to worry about where it is on the table. Just grab your fork and stab something. And that's kind of what this next 3 days is going to be like. Just grab a fork and stab something. Work on it. Be productive about it. Don't worry about whatever else is outstanding, but get your ducks in a row. The energy that's coming will matter.
So this is the time to buckle up, it sounds like, and really make sure that we are prepared for that big thing, because it's coming.
Yeah, and you don't really even have to. It's more like packing your parachute. You're not going to wear it right now, but you're going to make sure it's all nice and neatly folded and put in its place appropriately, and all the cords are attached and everything's ready. Because when it does hit, you're going to have to put it on right away, and you're never going to know when to pull what trap is going to be set, that you have to actually pull that device to make it work for you. So right now is the time to get it all the kinks worked out on the what if factors.
Okay, on that note, we are going to get off to our phone lines and start taking some calls here. Now, I just want to let everybody know who is watching us from Facebook or YouTube. Be sure to give us a call directly here on the show. That's area code 319-527-6071. We'll be here for about the next hour or so while we finish out these calls here and spend all of our time taking your questions here. The reason why is because we're too busy with too many other moving pieces, and it's just a lot easier if you give us a call. And remember to please press 1 when you give us a call. because apparently that seems to make a difference somehow. Now, it seems like today is Subscriber Sunday, so we will catch up with all of our subscribers for the show and everybody who's coming back to us for all of those burning questions. But if you would like to jump first to the call queue, go ahead and go to paypal.me/Uranus Happens, donate $10. That'll get you a front of the line pass. So we are going to get off to our first caller here. We're going to catch up with Allison here at area code 313. Hi, you're on Celestial Intersections Radio. Can you hear me right now? Allison, are you
Yes,
there?
I can. Hello. It's been a long time. I don't think we've talked. I think the last time we talked was last year, in fact.
It was. It's been a while. Yeah, I have you on my guest book record, so I know you've been on the show. I have your chart. So, Allison, do you have a question for us tonight, or would you just like a general reading?
Yeah, just go with the general. There's a number of issues that are pretty upfront, but we'll see what the astrology has to say. Something maybe will jump out there too.
Okay, we work with 8,000 formulas, so I just need a little bit more direction. Do you want to look at health, love, or career?
Oh, well, not career since I'm tired.
We could do money instead of career if that's more applicable to your scenario.
No, I think the money. I got someone who's on that, so I'm not really too. I got somebody who takes care of that for me. I mean, it's excellent. So I'm in good hands there. I don't know. I probably would say I don't want to say health because then it starts to get a little bit more complicated. So that's the primary thing. Maybe, no, hold on. I was thinking like social life, not romance, not love, but maybe just more community, social connectedness.
Perfect.
Things
All
like
right,
that.
got it. Yeah, so just like the more platonic side of the love part of a general reading. Okay, definitely.
Yeah, relationships in general. Because I live alone, I don't get out a lot. So things of that nature. Maybe,
understood. So, Verena, what you got for Allison on that one?
Okay, relationships in general. I feel like you're going to be granted or blessed with the position of finding those folks or finding at least one or two that you really like a lot. Now, I feel like that culmination of energy will change the outgoing relationships. So what am I saying? I'm saying that you may meet a few people and think, wow, this is going all right, I kind of like it, and it'll change. So what you're going to find is you'll be really good friends with a lot of people, and then all of a sudden a few of those folks are just going to start to fall off. And that actually makes way for the future bonding of those one or two or three folks that really aren't going to go anywhere. Overall, they're really going to make a compliment to you, to give you companionship in the area of you are not going to have to hide anything about you at all. You can take it all off, and they're going to be buddy friends right there with you. And that for you, that's okay. So I hear that this is what I care about. That for you is the same as one or two people you've had over the years in your life. However, it is going to be kind of new to you. It's going to be fresh knowing that these folks are really all about you. And instead of the superficial yah-yah that you have to make nice to keep the relationship going, these relationships that you get that stay are those ones that you can show your bad hair days to, and they're not going to judge you. You're not going to run them off. They're going to understand that people just have different days, and they're not going to feel any way about it. And, you're going to be able to say whatever you want, act however you want, be who you really are, and they're going to be there. They're absolutely going to be there for you. And that's literally these relationships you make in the next few months are going to stay with you through decades. So just remember that if it takes the better part of the year to find the true blues, so be it. But you're going to have a lot of people to come through. You're not going to be bored. You're not going to have anything to do, not anything to do. You're going to be very active with a lot of people as you lead through whatever it is, let's say, that's going to be the guys that hangs on. And I got to say, too, there is love in that. and not maybe in an intimate manner, but in a way that you would love a sibling or a cousin or someone that, overall really just blessed your heart with all kinds of things and no pain. So you were going to end up loving them, despite your best interests of not wanting to claim that, because overall it's been a bad thing in the past. You are going to love them. And with that, Ernesto, what did you get?
Okay, so I'm taking a look here. There's
Can I
multiple.
say something? Wait, let me jump in first with her. I had a really hard time hearing her. I had to really get my phone up close. I think she's on it sounds like a speakerphone, like in a well. So I just thought I would mention that so that maybe she could, I don't know, she could switch to a different, different kind of, if she's on speakerphone, then maybe, get off the speakerphone. It was really hard to hear her.
Okay, all right, no worries.
Okay, how about that? Is this better? Is this better?
Can you say a few more things? Just say something.
Yeah, I walked out of the room I was in.
Yeah, that's
so,
all.
and I'm normally.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
all right, I'm
better.
so sorry.
Yeah. The other one, it sounded like you were in the bottom of a well.
I was actually in an enclosed room that I thought maybe we'd make it easier for people to hear me, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So I'll go back out to where I normally sit. We're all good.
Yeah, okay. That's much better, way better. Yeah, thank you. But I was able to catch it, so.
Thank you.
But, being courteous towards other callers. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Allison, I have a question. Is your experience right now kind of about saying goodbye to people? Like you're having people that are just sort of dropping off or going by the wayside right now?
No.
Have you had this have you had this
not
happen
at
to you
all.
recently?
I don't know. How did you find recently? Like
Recently within the past 3 to 6 months.
Oh, no.
Okay, then this is a thing that's coming. I'm just gonna let you know sort of what the beginning of Veretta was saying is that you have, like these people, these characters in your environment that are just gonna start dropping off. And that is absolutely true that this is going to be a theme for you over this period that we're in right now. Is that you are going to have some people here that are going to be sort of going away. And what's going to end up happening is it's going to cause sort of some depression. And depression is defined as loneliness. So it's not like, I want to jump off of a bridge kind of thing. It's just more like, I'm so bored I can barely take it. I'm ready to jump out of my skin. Somebody please do something now. That's more of the experience that you're going to be going through. So the great news is, though, that there is somebody on the horizon here for you. There is absolutely somebody coming towards you and some new groups of people. I really feel like that the thing that you would benefit the most from right now is very simply just trying out new groups, seeing what other things are available. I don't know what you mentioned at the beginning of the call that you don't do a whole lot to get out. So, I mean, if you were to change that and you started to, just even to do something different, to be around new people, that's going to generate some new energy in your area. I've actually had the experience recently. I'll share something with you that we all want whatever it is that we want in life, but we're never going to get that thing unless if we change part of ourselves. So so for example, like to lose weight, right? There is a reasonable expectation that if you want to lose weight, you should be hungry relatively nearly all of the time. And if you're not, if you're always feeling comfortable, well, not a whole lot's probably going to change if that's something that's important to you. So same kind of idea that if you're wanting to meet new people, getting out, just taking baby steps in that direction, I think would really help you right now. And doing things that are a little bit outside of your comfort zone too, that's going to be the types of groups or people that you would want to get involved with, because these people are going to have they'll pique your curiosity and interests in ways that you never had before, and that's going to that's going to create some friendships that are more mature in nature, that where people sort of understand each other. I really feel like that the people that are coming into your environment, that these are going to be people who are ready, people who have their stuff together, and they're wanting to spend time with you because they're ready for that, and they don't want to do all the other BS and games and not following through with that kind of thing, because that's a common complaint from people, is that there's no follow through kind of thing. I really feel like that these new people will be more mature, but this is going to be a result of you getting out and stepping outside of your comfort zone. And that'll bring in the things that you're looking for. That's the advice of the chart here.
Yeah, let me respond. But I haven't had people dropping out of my life. I have had people leave. That happened some time ago. And quite some time ago. So, and then and then a couple of years ago, I moved to a different state. I actually moved across the country, and on my own, which is fine. I always do that. It's nothing unusual for me. So I came into a brand new town where I'd never been before, a brand new state I'd never been before. But I've had a whole lot of really, really impactful health issues that have made me very much, I'm just going to say, kind of locked me down quite a bit. And then the only people, so I haven't had any opportunity to even have people to leave my life, if you know what I mean, like to make friends and they leave my life. I haven't even really had that experience. The last couple of years, I had a death. It was a death of the landlord, so which was quite shocking last year. So, but that was that was not somebody leaving my life. That was somebody leaving his life, and so there's been a changeover in that. But I'm really just trying to, because the health issues are so significant. They're so impactful on my life that I'm trying to kind of reach out as much as my energy allows, and meet people through group activities. I am currently in an improv group, and really just for fun, and it's really enjoyable. It's a common, we're all beginners, so we're all kind of on the same page. We're learning. The great teacher, that's coming to an end actually next week. So it's that kind of thing where, there's not a lot of things. I don't want to say there's not a lot of. I'm not gonna say there's not a lot of things to do in my area, but it's kind of limited because it's kind of a small town. It's not just seeing the area where I live, but. It's not a lot. I have to really dig, for things that appeal, and that I can kind of feel either that I could connect to that activity, or things like like there's not even a writing group in my area, which is really odd. That really, really surprised me, like creative writing group, like creative writing circle, which is the first thing I wanted to do. There's not even that. So a lot of it is just kind of availability, I guess, for what I have, like the interest, but then it's like, well, but, and please don't tell me to start a writing group because that's out of the question. Things like that. So I have to really sift through to find even something that resonates.
Well,
anyway, it's a bit of a struggle kind of built into the situation.
I have to leave you with this, and then I'm really sorry. We're gonna have to move on so we can take our next caller here.
Yeah.
But if you've ever experimented with this, there is an app called Clubhouse. So if you have a computer, it's called Club Deck. But on your phone, it will be called Clubhouse. Now, the what I found out about this recently, that this is like 10 million some odd users that get together and they have like little clubhouses that people have, so that can be for things like astrology or creative writing or cooking or recipes or literally any concept
Yeah.
or idea that makes you excited. And people get together and share ideas and they have chats and just have impromptu little meetings.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're
Yeah.
wanting to do something that's different to you, and you just don't have the
Yeah.
access to the people to make it happen, Club Deck is one of those great types of platforms where you can meet up with a whole bunch of strangers who are like-minded, and you don't have to go through the whole
Yeah.
rigmarole of I'm going to start my own group because it doesn't exist kind of thing, and that's exhausting anyway.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with you. You don't want to
Okay.
do that. But the Clubhouse
No.
app is going to be a place where you could put in something like creative writing, and then you're going to end up with a whole bunch of
Right.
people who are like-minded. Reddit is another great place for that, and I would almost guarantee you that there
Yeah.
is a Discord server to that effect too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have to look into. I haven't heard of Clubhouse. You say it's called Club Deck on the
computer,
but
yes.
Clubhouse on the phone,
Yes.
on
Right.
the app.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm really social media wary. Very social media. I know everyone does it, but I'm not that person. I have a lot of reservations about it. I've never even been on Facebook. But I'll look into it. Maybe something, I've tried meetup.com, by the way, but
Oh, yeah,
that's
that's
where,
great.
that's what most people know about. So that one has a lot of security issues built into it. So, okay. All right. Well, I'll look into that and see if,
Yeah, it was great to
there's
catch up with you,
something in my
Allison. Be sure
area
to give
that
us a
might
call
be.
back and let us know how it turns
Okay,
out.
thanks.
We'll
Yeah.
catch up with you
Okay.
soon.
Okay,
Until
thanks a
next
lot.
time, many blessings.
Have a good day. Bye-bye. Bye. You too.
Okay, and we are going to get to our next caller here. Let's catch up. Let's see here. It's going to be with Dion at area code 630. Hi, Dion. Are you on the air? Can you hear me right now?
Hi. Thanks for taking my call. I'm
Great.
also watching you on YouTube.
Oh, perfect. All right, great. All right,
Oh,
now
good.
let me pull up your show or your chart, excuse me. So many things going on right now. So got it. Now, Dion, do you have a question for us, or would you just like a general reading about health, love, or career?
Okay, so here's what's going on. So today I am finishing the documentary that I've been writing for 5 months, and it's a great time to finish it because that's a big project that'll be launched off my plate. It's going to provide for me in the future, and it's providing for me now. Not as much as I would like, but still. And I'm very grateful. But here's the thing now. So you told me, if you have a water feature, then you need to put it facing south in your house. And I had it going, and it was going great. And then the motor blew. And here's the thing. I've smudged my apartment. I white saged it, Palo Santo, the Florida water, I'm doing the eggs on me and the dog. And I feel like, I know I'm not trapped here because I could literally just walk out the door tomorrow, but it's the finance thing. So I'd love to be able to bless other people from my fountain of blessed coming in. Is this something that I need, something else I need to do in order for my new beginning? That's the abundance that I'm coming in. Because you told me that this apartment was draining, and you're right. I keep my wallet in the car because it'll suck everything out of you living here. But not only that, just moving forward and being protected so I don't have this issue again. What are you seeing with my work that's brought me up to this point? And if you know of any feng shui cures that to remove any blockages, if it's the apartment, I don't want to blame that. You know what I'm saying? Or that's really where I'm at right now.
Well, yeah, that's a lot. Let me just feel. It's not the apartment. It's not the apartment giving you blocks, okay? First thing I want to respond with is the time frame. Time frame. Don't forget about the time frame. Time frame isn't right. Nothing's going to happen. So, and you're dealing a little bit with that right now in that there's a little bit of gap of time. You got your stuff all together and are all caught up with everything you need to finish, but the reality of it is that time frame isn't quite yet. So you kind of have to twiddle your thumbs until it's ready to become active, and then you're good for go. So what do I say about that? I say when you're in that kind of crunch and you're not sure what's going on because you think you've got all the bases covered, then just float. And by that I mean you take care of other things. Take care of yourself. Let you have a lazy day. Maybe this is Spirit's way of providing you with time off so you don't think that, oh my God, it's nothing about work and I hate my life. So right now, the feng shui in the house, in your apartment, is a little gray. Gray meaning there are windows of opportunity that you can open for yourself by putting things in a little bit of a different place. I think that, and also know and be very aware that in certain feng shui cases, you can put a fountain in a perfect place and have something else in that place that will absolutely negate the energy that it creates or surrounds. So I think right now you've got a couple things making ground zero or zeroing out things that could be in a positive measure, but something else isn't okay. And I think there's like 2 or 3 areas of that in your apartment right now. I do believe one's by the front door. I guess maybe the other one would be an office or where you spend a considerable amount of time thinking or talking on the phone, and your bedroom. So because the bedroom and the door came through pretty quick first, and I was just kind of struggling how to get across to what I was feeling in the third one, go to the bedroom, go to the front room, living room, door, front door, whatever, and take a look to see what you've got there that may be negating what you've already created for yourself. Your business, your books, your money, the money flow itself is calm because of which and it's not Spirit slapping you down, it's just a statement of fact, which that you're not bringing money in the best way you could be. So right now I see you have a really good possibility. I see you looking around to see what you could do for a little extra money. So whether that's a day gig, a part-time job, a temporary job, temporary position at something, walking the dog, picking up poop, I don't know. It just seems to me like that would give you a little bit extra boost in income. That might make you feel better after the day is done. So I don't know which question. Or
the problem with that is I'm supposed to be having surgery, and that's going to take me off my feet for another 30 days. So I applied for the temporary disability that is supposed to be coming in this month to help patch me by. Because it's just like a what do you call it? Like a vicious cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not healthy enough to go back to work, but I'm doing what I can to get by.
So you are IT literate. There are plenty of positions in an IT world that you could make a side buck sitting right on your butt. So don't negate the fact that you can make more by thinking, well, I can't be on my feet. That's stupid. I can't be physical. Because there's a lot out there in doing side gigs online that brings in good, healthy bucks. So if you're IT literate, which you are, if you're great at writing, which you are, if you're a self-motivator, which you are, then you've got everything it takes to create a side hustle. Find one. Go to Amazon. Look up. Actually, there's a lot of Instagram posts that tell you how to make side gigs online. I mean, ample people every day just telling their stuff. Hey, oh my God, I can't believe I did it. So look those up. Just look up on Instagram or YouTube. They're everywhere. How to make side gig online. And you can do a side hustle and get some money in there. That'll relieve a little bit of your pressure of being under the crunch. Okay, let's do it, Ernesto.
Okay.
Scott, because he may actually have something, literally have something that he could suggest that you can do it on.
Okay, so Dion, taking a look at this. So the question is, and you when people come to us and they describe a scenario, that doesn't necessarily invoke a question, right? And that's sort of what I need to work with. That's like the gas that gets my work started. So what I did here is, from what you described to me, I think the real question is, how do I feel better about what's going on? that's really, I think, what you want to know, because the money is just sort of like a secondary sort of effect of everything else. That's just that may be a concern, but that's not the main story that you want to focus on. So I think the real thing that you want to talk about is more getting into peace of mind. Like, how do I get back to my old self, back before I was distressed by all of this BS that I didn't ask for. That's what I'm looking at now in your chart. And the first thing that I can tell is that, so the finance situation, the money piece of that's all looking really great right now. So this is actually a time where you would have a triple midpoint where that's all lining up for you. And that the money piece of it is all looking really good. I think what you're really sort of dealing with, honestly, though, is just burnout. Is, that the situation that you are in is just too much to handle, that you're so exhausted from just micromanaging every single little tidbit in detail to make it even all move forward or even possible, that you're just kind of like, I still want this, but I've just sort of had it too. And I know exactly what this looks like, like working on a textbook when you are so unbelievably burnt out from just life in general and other bad life choices that you can't make sense out of anything else. So then even so much as giving 30 minutes of yourself every day, that's even a push most days. When you're dealing with those types of situations, you kind of have to take a step back and realize, all right, so what am I going to do for myself? Now, you just mentioned surgery. That sounds terrific. Like that's absolutely a situation where you're going to be forced to be knocked on your ass and you have to sit there and do nothing and you have to recharge your batteries. So, I mean, I know you have this whole documentary project and everything that's finished. I also just want to let you know, because you're looking at maybe doing some entertainment and stuff, the industry is really on the verge of a strike right now. So if you're going to be at all looking at pitching those ideas into producing them, really make sure that you understand what goes on during a writer strike, because it does affect purchasing options and all of that other stuff, the people you're eligible to work with. It just means, like, you might get paid more in some instances, but you're just not going to get the credits that you're wanting on the back end. So there's a whole thing on the screenwriting subreddit about it I'd recommend looking into, because that was something that surprised me, is that if I write a pilot or a movie or whatever and I want to pitch it to somebody, that if there is a strike going on, it makes it a lot worse. So that's way into the future. I just want to let you know about that, because I know it's something you're thinking about. But we do have a number of calls here. It looks like we are quite busy. So I do want to get off here to our next caller here, just to let you guys know this is going to be from 347. Absolutely, Dion. Thanks so much for being on the show. We'll catch up with you soon, and until next time, let us know how it turns out. Many blessings. Okay, so we are going to get off to our caller from area code 347 here. And let's see, and then I see everything else is on fire. So just to let you guys know what the call queue is going to be, we're going to get off to area code 561 after that. So that'll be our next caller. And then we're going to catch up with Jessica, and then we also have Rosemaria. So we are quite busy, and I'm so sorry if I forgot anybody. I think I did. Who is this? Great. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. And then we do have Philson too as well. I'm so sorry. So Philson will catch up with you. So first of all, let's get off to area code 347. Hi, you're on Celestial Intersections Radio. May I have your name and date of birth, please?
Hello, I'm Linda. My date of birth is April 10th, 96.
April 10th, 96. Okay. All right. Just a moment. So April 10th, 96. At what time were you born, Linda?
7:50 p.m.
7:50 p.m. All right. And do you have a question for us tonight, or this morning, or do you have just want a general reading?
What general for the rest of this month, please?
For the about health, love, or career?
Should it be for career and relationship?
Okay. All right. And Linda, last but not least, where were you born?
Brooklyn,
New York. Perfect. Got it. All right, Veretta, what you got here for Linda?
All right, Linda. Okay, so I'm feeling a lot of anxiety you got going on. One of the things I want to say to you is, what do I want to say to you? That change will come, let's see, with your motivation, with your thoughts, with whatever counts to you, with something that's important to you. Energy, when that comes up and you have the opportunity to take, and not necessarily, well, it could be a different position. It's like out of the blue. All right, it's there. Make your mind up. I'm not going to wait for you forever. Because you're not willy-nilly about just jumping on every bandwagon. You're pretty conscientious overall about the choices you make. This is going to be one of those where you got to be willy-nilly. Jump on that bandwagon. Now, I feel like it may be a temporary situation, but it changes absolutely everything about you that's going on in your life. And to be sure you will not have to change anything you don't want to, but once this gets going, you're going to have the opportunity to change everything or anything you don't like in your life, and that includes people. So I'm going to tell you that once this downtime for you, with this downslide for you gets better, everything is going to look up. I mean, everything in your life is going to look up. So I know it's been going on a while. I get that it's been something that you've had to just deal with repetitively. But change is going to happen. Don't be afraid to take the opportunity that comes. Even if you're not sure, like I said, you are pretty methodical when it comes to making change work. Even if you're not sure how this is going to affect you in the future or what else needs to happen, even if it's actually even presented as a part-time job, go ahead and take it. It's going to make life worth living again for you. Now, Ernesto can probably give you a little bit more about that. He may also tell you that what's going to come for the rest of the month is mediocre at best, but definitely don't wince about the things that are brand new to you. Ernesto, can you give her more about that?
Yeah, so here's what that's all about. So, Linda, taking a look at your chart right now, this is just going to be a right now thing. This is going to be just temporary. This is not forever. So, what's happening in your chart in your life is that we were talking I don't think you caught us at the beginning of the show when we were talking about the eclipse that's going to be happening on May 5th. You'll see down here where I've marked some black stuff that they're going to be marked in circles at the bottom, that you have the sun and the moon in these black circles. Now this is going to be what's happening out in the sky on that day. This is that eclipse energy that everybody is so unbelievably excited about, and that they seem to sensationalize to the moon and back. Not to be cliche or anything, but to look at your chart, you do have sun and moon that's happening in 3 different charts. So you've got the first one that's happening there in that blue square. You've got the second one that's happening in that pink square. This is all really close to each other, by the way. That distance is about the same. And then you've got that third one that's happening in those circles down there. This is the chart for May 5th, by the way. So we're taking a look at what's happening with that. If we move it back sort of more to what's happening right now in the moment to where we're at today, let's take a look at this one. So then we see that sun and that moon, they've sort of moved a little bit, but everything is mostly the same. So when we talk about wanting to capitalize on the energy for this month, that's talking about this stuff that's right here. So this Jupiter with this Zeus, this is going to bring you good luck. And you have this happening at that 22.5-degree axis point in your chart. So that's a major axis in Uranian astrology. This is going to be when, by transit 1 out of 3 different charts, all 3 charts will be lit up, because that you have this Jupiter energy, which is good luck and good fortune. So everything that happens in your chart naturally at this major axis point, it will all be affected in that way. So this is going to be where you do want to capitalize on it. And the Zeus that's sitting right next to it, that's also going to be like some creative energy. That's going to be like some divine inspiration. That's going to be like some some new thought that you haven't had. This is like the things that this is the type of mental energy that we really like to have when we're being pushed into a new direction. So that chart that I showed you previously of the day for May 5th on that eclipse, that looks like that's definitely going to bring some new relationship energy to you. You're probably in a really hot period for that right now where you're going to be at least, percolating that alchemy where where your actions are changing what's actually going to be manifesting in your life. So when I always say be careful with what you think and with what you reap and what you sow, this is definitely one of those times. So when Beretta's saying take advantage for the second half of this month, that means that you do have some great opportunities that are coming up here, and also with other love related matters. I do think that you are going to get sort of a lot of what you're looking for, but again, this is going to be a matter of do I react to the fire that's being put below me, or am I just going to sort of let this pass me by because I'll think it'll come back later, or I'm too busy. No, it's not coming back later, so make sure you do it now. All right, Linda. Well, it was great to have you on the show. Be sure to give us a call back and subscribe, like, and share to let us know how it turns out.
All right, thank you.
All right, catch up, and we'll catch up with you real soon. Take care, and until next time, many blessings.
Same to you.
Okay, and Beretta, do you remember at all just now what the call cue was? Because I didn't write this down. I am so sorry.
Not even a little bit. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and we are on fire. We are really busy at Subscriber Sunday, so just a moment here. I'm trying to figure some things out. One more thing. Is this it? Yeah, here we go. Got it. Fixed it. So we are going to catch up with area code 561 here. Hi, you're on Celestial Intersections Radio. May I have your name and date of birth, please?
Yeah, Stacy, 1226.
Okay, 1226. Stacy, have I read you before?
Maybe I think maybe a couple of years ago when it was around the time before I got this job that
Yes,
I have. I
it
was
was a
asking
while
about
ago.
my job. Yeah. No, I'm at my job over 2 years. So what happens is I was at the job over 2 years, and it closed. So I'm just devastated. I was there every day, and in the end, it was like cutting our hours and everything. We weren't making money towards the end. And I basically started a job a week later, we found, and the turnover is like the people from my job, some of them got fired already, or they couldn't handle the pressure and they quit. So, and the other couple of days ago, you know how it's Mercury retrograde coming up. A guy was outside like 2 buildings, like near my building, but he doesn't work with me. He works for another place. And he was like, "Oh, hi, are you single and everything?" And he gave me his number, and I haven't dated in years because, so he gave me his number, and I don't want to call him because it's Mercury retrograde coming up, and that always ends bad for me. If I started something, it would end, or I like to hibernate during that time. So I want to know, is this job that I just took on the 27th going to last a while? Because the other one I asked you about, I remember, and it looked good, and I stayed there, and, I'm just very worried because this one, there's more pressure and they get rid of people quicker. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to, date somebody if I'm not happy with my, what's going on. I don't think it's fair,
Sure, yeah,
So
I understand.
I'm just wondering, and it's a retrograde, and, I don't know who, he came up, he mentioned he's divorced, he got divorced and whatever, and I don't know, his intentions, because you don't know, I don't know him from a hole in the wall. He just gave me his number. I didn't call yet, and what am I going to say? I don't call you till after retrograde. I don't want to talk about that. So I'm just wondering, how this is going to last a while. and what they think about this guy. Is he, because my intuition says don't call him. Am I wrong?
Okay, so I just want to narrow this down a little bit. So, would you want to focus on the career aspect, or do you want to focus on the love aspect? Because we have quite a few people in queue, and I just want to make sure that we get to everybody. So let's just narrow that down. Which one do you want to focus on? I can do the love or the career. Which one?
What do you think? Is this going to last a while, or is he a dud? You know what I mean?
Well,
So the relationship,
Yeah, I mean,
let's not even
What?
focus on that, Ernesto. Go straight to her
Yeah.
career, because I can give her a one-word answer for the relationship. So focus on her career.
okay, all right. So let's focus on
Okay,
that
I
one.
mean, I'm a little psychic. My feeling is that no, don't go for him. Just something about
Right,
him,
you're
but I
absolutely
could be
right on
wrong.
No, you're not.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right on that.
I'm right with things
So-
like that because I've been right with things like that before. I could tell you, and my
Yeah,
mother
so no,
is a
just
psychic.
listen to your intuition, right? And you don't need to worry about it. Now, career.
But if he asked
So
me why I
where I'm
didn't
getting-
call him, I mean, yeah.
Don't worry about it. That's on you. That's down the road. That's not right now. If you don't call them, you don't call them. But career is something also that you need to look at too, because what I get with that is it's only going to be good if you let it. Which means, and that what that says to me is there's propensity for you to fall in an old cycle or an old trap that you're used to seeing and then responding a certain way to it. And this is going to be one of those times if you respond to it in that way, you're not going to have a job. Not only are you not going to have a job, they'll make it difficult for you to get another one if you want to take the same type of income from the same style of place. So when you start to see these traps, or whatever you would call them, when you start to look at these individuals or these situations and your innate sense goes, uh-oh, listen to it. But also listen to it on how to respond. Don't do it like you normally would. Whatever this is going to happen, this is to show you that there is a better way to deal with these things and these people than what you've done. So it can last quite a while, but I'm really getting the propensity for it to really just kind of go by the wayside because of old predictive behaviors that you have from the past. And don't even ask about what they are. Don't get started on, well, what am I going to do? How am I going to spot? You're going to spot it. When your brain and your gut says, uh-oh, together, that's one right there. You don't even have to wait to know if that's going to be a problem. Listen to your intuition. Now, Ernesto may be able to give you much better time frame and with a lot of less conflict for you with that. So because we are heavy in the queue right now.
That scared me. You're saying if I left this, I wouldn't find something for a long time.
That's what I said. But Ernesto can tell you how not to make those choices, and he'll let you know what the right answer is. As far as, I don't think the job has to be gone. Like I said, that's on you and how you deal with it. So it shouldn't be, I won't get fired right away. It should be, okay, what do I do to change my outcome? What do I do to make sure that I don't get fired? So let Ernesto talk to you a little bit about that and see what he finds and give you some input.
Okay, all right,
Because
yeah.
I was at the other one for.
Thanks. Go for it, Ernesto.
Sure, yeah. So taking a look here, Stacy, it is absolutely true that this job has this potential or this quality about it that if you were I don't want to call the job cancer per se because it's not like that, but it's just one of those things that it can wear you down, and it can feel like that. I don't really recognize who I am because it's just such an upsetting situation that you sort of create for yourself. I don't want to throw the word psychosomatic, but it's almost like that we create this thing for ourselves. Like positive gaslighting would be an example of a situation that's sort of like what you're in right now, that we think that it's this one way, but it's really sort of not. So we convince ourselves of other things to make it seem less bad. And the more that you get into your head about this position and everything else and all of your issues about it, it's just going to create more and more energy to where you're going to want to either just walk up and leave, you're going to resign, you're going to do something that's going to piss off somebody to let yourself get gone. That would be a mistake. So if this is a job that ends because of you, then you're probably going to struggle to find work again after that. And let's be very clear about this, that if this is something that you can redirect the energy, then and you just kind of go unnoticed by everything else that's going on. There may be other fires within the company, within the department that you work, that you're just unable to look at, but that still need to be addressed because, hey, it's the job. That this is the one of those times where you just want to fly under the radar. You just want to stay in your own lane and avoid all of that stuff, because the more you pay attention to it, the more it's just going to eat away at your soul, and it's going to have sort of like a negative effect on you, to where it'll make it to where you're unable to get jobs in the future. Now, as far as like other job potential, I don't see that either. So I feel like that if this is the job that you're in, this is the job that you're going to be staying in probably for a while. And that may not sound like what you may want to hear at the moment, because you might have other plans or hope that there's greener pastures out there. Well, I'm sorry to say there's not at the moment. So this is just going to be something that you're going to have to work through.
I want to stay at a job for a while because I'm not one to jump from job to job. What I'm nervous about is that a few people from my old job got fired when they just started this job. That's what I'm nervous about. I want to stay there as long as possible because I don't want to look for something else. What I'm scared of is getting fired because other people have been getting fired. You know what I mean? That's how come I haven't been like socializing and stuff.
Right. The reason that they're getting fired is because they created a problem. And that's very simply what that all boils down to. And also the fact that management is not the best when it comes to the onboard process. So that creates some confusion. And then people do things that they're not supposed to, that aren't allowed because they didn't know any better. All of that can be avoided. So this is one of those situations where you just have to stay on top of the game, where you really know your policies and make sure you just triple check everything, not just double check, because, the people who say that they're there to help you, they're really not. These are the sort of the people who say, well, we're so sorry, but we're going to have to let you go because that just was unforgivable. You never should have done that. Well, but what the heck? You said I could. Well, we're really sorry, but this other policy over here says otherwise. And we didn't know about this until last week. I'm sorry I missed that memo, kind of thing. This is just one of those things where something screwed up can happen, and it'll be out of anybody's control, and you will be the person to take the fall for it.
What do you mean?
So if you don't do your due diligence to make sure that everything is perfect the way that it needs to be per the company policy, it's gonna create a situation or a rift to where you would be let go.
I've been
And
doing
your
everything.
old cycles. Your old cycles are what will get you let go. It won't be because you're from somewhere else or because you're part of the crew that's getting fired. It'll be your efforts that get you fired. So Ernesto's telling you, in order for that not to happen, don't do what they did because they didn't know. You need to be thorough in checking what has to happen, what is straight, what is right.
What my fear is, because the company I worked for closed down. That's what I'm nervous about. What if this one closed down? That's what I'm nervous about.
It doesn't matter what the termination point is, are on your efforts. So there's nothing about the business closing down. There's nothing about you getting fired because you're part of the old crew. It has to do with what you do in response. So what Ernesto is saying is just, keep your P's and Q's in order, check up on all your ducks, make sure they're in a row, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I come in early every day. I work, other people are late, this and that. But, I do everything right. I work diligently hard. Like, I don't want to go from job to job. I would at least stay here at least a year because I don't want to go from job to job. The other job, I would have stayed there 3 years if it didn't close. That's what I'm saying. I just got very nervous with what I saw the first couple of weeks.
Well, hang in there with it, and if if that's a job that you want to be at, then you'll do what you're supposed to. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But with that guy, my gut instinct is a no-go. I don't know why,
Right.
but that's my feeling.
Just listen to your instincts. They're telling you right on that. That was a simple, easy, get rid of them kind of energy. So.
Well, yeah, Stacey.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah, thanks so much for calling the show. It's great to have you. Be
thanks.
sure to give us a call back and let us know how it turns out.
Okay, I'd like to listen. So.
And okay, for sure. I'll put you back on. Until next time, many blessings. Take care. And until next time.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, all right. And let's see here. Everything is on fire. Wow, we are busy. This might end up being I really don't know if we have the ability to get to everybody. I hope we do. Fingers crossed here. Remember, you can always go over to eastrologer.tv and purchase a front of the line pass for $10 to guarantee that you'll get on the show today. Otherwise, we will be ending the stream in about a half hour or so. So let me take a look here. And our next caller is going to be from area code 646. Hi, you're on Celestial Intersections Radio. May I have your name and date of birth, please?
Hi, it's Carla, September 6, 1965.
Carla, all right, got it. September 6, 65?
Yes, September 6, 1965.
All right, and perfect. What time were you born?
10 a.m.
And where were you born, Carla?
In the city of Ambala. It's Ambala in India.
In India. Okay, all right. Now, fingers crossed. Oh, wow, we have it in here. Perfect. This atlas is kind of spotty sometimes, so we don't always get everything, especially with India. I know there's so many provinces and areas and territories that a lot of times you just have to manually enter the coordinates into the software. So I'm so happy that your birth city was here. So Carla, perfect, got it. Now, do you have a question for us today, or do you have a question, or would you like a general about?
Yes, I do. I'm just wondering if you see a move anytime soon. I'm trying to sell my condo. Yeah, perfect. And hopefully, yeah.
All right, I've read it. What you got for Carla about a move?
Okay, so I do have yes. However, I also have that will depend upon, there's a caveat, that will depend upon doing something related to selling condos in your area, selling real estate, I don't know what it is, but there's a little bit of something you'll still need to do to make sure that happens. I don't know if it's getting on, I don't even know why I'm seeing this because I don't know that much about it. Okay, so I'm hearing something about getting on an MLRS listing that is either
it's on there
specifically for okay, so check to see if there isn't another one somewhere. And this is what I get about that. The feeling I get about that is it's somebody that like opened or started another list and they're like over the top with kind of marketing aspects for themselves. They are nothing but nonstop go, 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 but they give you the impression that maybe it isn't really worth the time and money to list on that because they aren't showing you really what you want to know. Well, the reality of that is this time that's the one to do it on because they are going to have people on there brand new to their area or to their list, just like you are, but they've been waiting for that perfect something. And so voila, you pop up and there it is. So I'm thinking if there is another one, or if you get told of another one, or you had been told, re-look at that and put your name on that list. Take the money it's going to, have to do it, and figure that after it's listed, I get like a 45 day wait, and you get a hit. And you don't even just get a hit. You get someone calling, knocking, showing up at your door with hands full of money going, I want your place. Could you move out yesterday? So
Okay.
Okay.
Let's hope. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ernesto?
Yeah. Okay. So Carla, taking a look at moving stuff now, are you looking to sell the condo so that you can move to a
Yes,
new location?
Yes, I do need to sell the condo. Yeah.
And
And it's already actually listed. Yeah.
okay, and how soon are you looking to sell? Are you like, are you hoping it's within the next year? Because what I'm picking up is that the time frame may not be what you're expecting as far as the money's concerned. That this won't mature to give you the financial expectation that you're wanting to until a much later date than it's probably reasonable in most cases. So I just wanted to get a little bit more context about that and sort of how we can work with that. I do think that you'll have some opportunities, but they're not going to be it'll probably be closer towards the end of the year that you're going to start to see some movement with that. Like if it's going to be imminent, if you were hoping it was going to be like within the next 90 days, that's probably more along the lines of wishful thinking kind of stuff. That it could happen, could happen, but you would end up losing so much money that it just wouldn't be worth it. I get the sense that the real estate market is going to do something very freaky in the very near future, and when it does, you will have the ability to profit from that. So that's going to be a scenario where the waiting is really going to be sort of worth it. Veretta, do you pick up on that at all?
Yeah, but that's also like what I said was, even though she's on one list, she's got to get on the other list. And you're right about the market.
No, actually, what I've heard, I'm sorry, from what I've heard, because I try and stay on top of all of this, they said that if anything, prices will go down on, homes. So, I mean, I'd probably not get as much as I wanted anyway if I were to wait till the end of the year. So, I mean, I'd rather just do it now.
You don't have to, right? You don't have to. I think that's what Ernesto was saying. You're not going to get what you're hoping, but you are going to get enough that you can do what you need to do.
Right. Yeah.
So, like I said,
that's
remember this other caveat, right? And it can go in 45 days once it's listed on the list that I'm talking about. And I don't know what one that is or where it's coming from. I just get the impression that it's coming from a fast-talking, very smooth individual that you may think, yeah, no, dude, I'm not giving you money at all because that's a waste of my time. Unfortunately, it's not. It's going to be the one that moves, that sells your stuff. And and the real estate is going down. The market is already. I don't know what state you're in right currently, but the reality of it is the clients I have moving real estate right now are going crazy because the prices are down and people are bailing out of their contracts because the interest rate is so high they cannot afford to make payments on their mortgage or, their loans. So you may, if you just like take the pose of I'm just going to sit and wait because my condo's on a crap load of MLRS lists right now and I'll just wait. That's where don't be in a hurry. That's where the last of the year can come from. So just remember, whatever it has to be listed on is got then a 45-day window, and you're out of there.
Okay. Thank you.
Lock, stock, and barrel.
Yeah, very good.
Carla, it was great to have you on the show. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and let us know how it turns out.
Okay, thanks.
We'll catch up with you next time. Many blessings. Okay, and we are going to catch up with Christiana here at area code 651. Hi, Christiana. It's been a while. Are you on the line? Can you hear me right now? Oh, okay. All right. And we lost Christiana. Your hand was up. I'm so sorry. I was ready to take that call. All right. Let's go off to our next caller here. Let's catch up with, let's see, Rosemaria from area code 856. Hi, Rosemaria. Are you there? Can you hear me right now?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good.
Now, Rosemaria, do you have a question for us, or would you like a general reading today?
Just general.
About house, love, or career?
Going on. I guess both, or either one, doesn't matter.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Let me see what I can get real quick. Let's do finances. Finances for you right now, I think, are going to be something that we'll be looking up here very shortly. And it may take someone coming up to you saying, hey, did you hear they're hiring? Or, hey, did you hear how easy it is to make money doing da-da-da? And they're not going to be somebody that's selling you fluff. They're serious about what they're giving and offering you the information of. So finances for you, even though you would think, well, it's not that tough. I'm okay. I don't need to add anything. This kind of stuff takes you over the top financially. And you're not worried about anything, because this is what I will tell you. The relationship aspect, that could affect your finances. And the health, that can affect your finances. So let's be clear, there are a couple things coming down the pipe that will affect you financially. And this is going to be one of those times where you get to hear from a psychic that tells you, jump on whatever it is that was unsolicited by you, that someone had to offer, because it's legit. And that seems to be the theme for today, because a lot of things are going to be just opening, a lot of things are going to just be opening doors for you that you would think, well, that doesn't really matter. It doesn't apply to me. Well, it can. And so this is where you need to hear the psychic say, it will, if you take it up. If once you see what that is, and somebody shows you their hand, and you get in the game with it, you're going to profit from whatever this is. And it's not going to be something you can't do. So it's not like you're going to be, well, I don't have to learn something different. If you can read, you're fine. If you can follow prompts, you're fine. If you can understand that really this isn't difficult, you can do it on your time, you're fine. So let's hear what Ernesto has to say, and maybe he can give you a little bit more specifics on what it is that's going to be offered and when and why. Ernesto?
Sure. Okay. All right. So, Rosemary, I'm taking a look at this about like your money situation. I really get the sense that this is like a new job opportunity, and this is going to have to do with some type of like problem solving. So this could be very simply like working in a call center, for example. Customer care is an example of problem solving, but it'll have some type of work to do along those lines, and it will deal with talking with people. So again, it's going to seem like that side hustle, like that person that we just don't want to talk to, like, this guy's a wacko, I'm not leaving my money or time with this person kind of thing. But, that hustler, that person really does know something. So that's sort of that energy that we're talking about here. Now, I do agree that this is going to give you the stability that you're looking for. And that it may not seem like what you want. It may actually seem unpleasant, but this is going to give you the opportunity to be able to do the other things in your life that you're wanting to do right now, and that this will, this may even lend to some relationship items that will come up for you in the future too. So that's sort of the main thing about that. Now, if you want to take a look at, like, let's say you were talking about your health matters, you were sort of curious about that for a second, then let me see, just jumping into that really quick. Great. All right, about there. Okay. So then this one is going to have to do with, this story deals more with like, again, this work situation. It is absolutely true that those do sort of lend to each other, as far as that, those questions being concerned, that you having this new job opportunity, that this is also going to give you an opportunity to work on the health issues. It'll provide you with some new networking opportunities, and it'll also give you some new healthcare options, perhaps even, like a new network of doctors kind of thing. So that this is going to be, I think, something that you're really looking forward to. You just don't know that it's coming to you yet. Now, this is going to be a time where you're going to be presented with many opportunities, and like we always say, you'll know when you know, because it'll just sort of feel right. It'll feel so off and weird, like, what the heck is that? I would never do that, but it sort of gives you a funny feeling. It still makes you sort of smile on the inside the whole way it went down. Those are the types of interactions and experiences that we really sort of keep an eye out for. Those are the ones that really do sort of mean something, the ones that shake us up at the core, because they just don't go down the way that we were expecting, but they still make us smile. So that's sort of the advice of the chart and what I have for you today. Now, Was there something else that you had in mind, or does that mostly cover it?
I guess is it the U.S. or overseas? Because I'm supposed to travel next month to overseas.
What do you have for travel, Freda?
To see my house and take care.
Yeah, she should take that. She should make that travel arrangement, complete. I feel like it's beneficial to her all the way around, like getting her stronger foundation under her, getting her mind clean, getting her things done that she needs to do for herself, physically and mentally. So it feels to me like that is a go, and it is something that needs to happen.
Yeah, but I probably have to cancel because I have no money coming in. I'm using my funds right now until I get there.
I agree
low.
that it would be a hardship, but the things that will impact you later won't have to happen if you can make this work. So I guess what I'm saying is if you don't take care of something now, it's going to pile up on you later and really create hardship. And if that
It'll
is
be a hardship when I get there with no money.
I think right now you'll be okay in light of the fact you got something coming in very quickly. So I think in that issue, your money will be taken care of in the long run. The money is not going to be too short to go.
All right, cool. Appreciate it.
For sure. All right. Well, Rosemaria, thanks for giving us a call, and we'll catch up with you real soon. Be sure to give us a call back and let us know how it turns out.
All right. Thank you.
Take care, and until next time, many blessings. Okay, so I see Christiana did give us a call back, so let's catch up with her on area code 651. Our stream may cut off in the next 16 minutes or so, but we are going to finish up all of our callers here with you guys today. And for anybody else who may want a free reading, give us a call here at the show at area code 319-527-6071. And with Christiana, we're going to catch up with you at area code 651. Hi, you're on the show. Christiana, can you hear me right now?
Hi, yes, I can. Sorry about that earlier.
No worries. All right. So I got you here. I got your chart up. Now, do you have a question for us, or would you like a general reading today?
It's kind of a vague question. I was just wondering what if you see any significant events coming up for me soon. I just recently relocated to St. Peter, Minnesota, and I was just wondering.
Okay. All right. Veretta, what you got for Christiana here?
Okay, so I feel like you do. I feel like you have some monumental things happening, even though some of them may be presented as real low key at the very beginning. They may not step up like a big wow eye opener, but there are one or two things that you're really going to have grins and giggles about here in the next couple, 2 or 3 months. And I think some of it is going to be told to you, or at least one thing is going to be told to you after the fact, but the fact that it's being told to you and what it is just carries you over the top. You're just ecstatic. I think another one may be job related, and that also gives me the impression that lots of grins and giggles. Holy, I didn't know that was going to take place so soon. So you definitely have some opportunities coming that it looks like it's going to pick you up and get you out of the, oh, well, okay, here's another day, and it doesn't look like it's going to change any kind of mentality. So hang on to your thoughts and let them happen. You'll be happy about it. Maybe Ernesto can give us a little bit more about that. What do you get, Ernesto?
Sure. Okay, so now it's the function of Uranian astrology is we're based off of the principle, ask a question, get an answer. So when you ask, like what are some significant things that are sort of coming up for me, that's really difficult to get into that because there are 66 things that I'm looking at in a chart. So what I did I went with the thing that I know that's happening out in the sky is the eclipse, what we talked about at the beginning of the show. Now, Christiana, let me ask you, are you single right now?
Yes.
Are you looking to be in a relationship? Let me rephrase. Does the idea of being in a relationship disgust you right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So that I think is sort of a takeaway here is that the major thing that's going to be coming up in your life is a new relationship. That's definitely going to be something that you're going to be dealing with here. And whether if new relationship is defined as like new friend or that seems like a relationship, or if it's somebody that you actually settle down with in a romantic sense, that's a separate question. I'd have to do some more analysis to take a look at how that character plays in your life. But the main takeaway here is that you absolutely have some new energy coming in, some new person, some new key relationship. Now, whether if that's platonic or if it's romantic, that's an aside that will push off to a different day. Maybe Beretta has something on that one there, but you absolutely have that coming in. Now, I think the great news is that it's going to be a relationship that's going to be relatively easy. It's going to be a good time. It's not going to be like when I asked you at the beginning, does the idea of being with somebody disgust you? And you said yes. So whatever makes your stomach turn, like all of these red flags like that makes your hair stand up, like, I don't want this. This is gross. Those are the elements that you're not getting, because that's what you've done through your own actions in working in yourself. Like, okay, so I've told the universe now, this is the perfect partner for me. And so you've created that person, and we're all kind of coming to that time now where we're really beginning to see what this is all about. So I hope that kind of gives you some clarity and some peace in that situation. I might have, sorry if I scared you a little bit when I said that. Are you appalled by the idea of being with somebody, because that's definitely coming in.
No, it's okay.
And the other thing too is that I think that it will be more of a mature energy too. Is that this is going to be somebody that's not just there, for all fun and games. This is somebody who's really going to keep your best interest at heart, which is something you haven't had in a while.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So that's going to be the main thing. And my advice to you is don't fight it. They're going to feel like a friend of the family. They're just going to fit in right away. And you're just going to sort of notice like, wow, that person we just barely met. And, already, like they know they met everybody who's important to me, and they're very well loved and received. Didn't expect that to happen. Well, that's because this is an important player in your life. So just keep an eye out and to any new energy, any new people who may want to introduce themselves to you, male or female, and just keep an open mind, and you'll be very happy with how it all turns out.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Be sure to give us a call back and let us know how it turns out. We'll catch up with you real soon, Christiana. Take care, and until next time.
All right.
Okay, and it looks like that we got to everybody, but we're going to finish up here tonight with Philson at area code 630. Now, just in case we do end up getting cut off, you're going to hear some prompts from the automated system, but the stream will still keep on going for our YouTube show, so we'll still be talking over there. So thank you so much, Philson. We will catch up with you now. Here you are on the show. Can you hear me right now, Philson? Are you there?
Hi, yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Now, do you have a question for us, or would you just like a general today?
General would be wonderful, thank you.
Okay, about health, love, or career?
Career, love, your call.
Okay, Beretta, which one do you like, career or love?
Okay. So I'm going to say love, but I really want to focus on the stagnant energy that I'm feeling. That would flow over to love, but the reality of this, that's the carryover from you. I feel like I want to say, with the lack of what you're wanting, and that there isn't any, I want to say that you, your specific self, are going to have some opportunity here, some point down the line, to travel. I feel like it's a cruise, or it's something that you maybe hadn't anticipated wanting to take, if ever. But the reality of it is somebody's going to invite you. You're not going alone. And I feel like that in itself can be the beginning or the starting of something just very, very, what do I want? True for you. Very authentic, very real, very organic. And it doesn't have to be pushed, pressured, or, yes or no kind of thing. There is going to be a lot of opportunity down the road as well. for you to do some new thing, whether that's take up line dancing, art, skydiving, I don't know, skydiving. It doesn't matter what it is. The reality of it is that right there is going to break the energy of stagnancy that I feel around you right now. And even though it may start presenting certain things that you don't care to actually want to do, the reality of it is intermixed in those things that are being presented to you are also bringing things that you might want to do, and that's good enough. So I feel like, get out there, get into the arena, grab a horse and collar or harness, and get up, start riding, start doing something that I never thought about doing that before, but I'm not so adverse to it. Maybe take some time to look at the things you're not absolutely adverse to and see if there's an opportunity to join. Overall, I think that's what's going to break the stagnancy. That's going to bring some energy up. That's going to help you. You flow in love. You're just about love. There's nothing other than love about you. But there also has to be some wow factor too, and that's what you're missing. So give the opportunity to associate with the people that are always living in the wow factor, and that will come to you. Overall, I think that stagnancy is related to you having to be comfortable with self, you getting feet under yourself, getting a firm foundation, knowing who you are, and just really setting the stage for you to get ready to do what you're here to do, what you're made of, at your pace, not pushed upon. So I think that time is what's coming up. I think breaking the stagnancy is what will create that theme to be over. And then the things that, you're going to want to grab your boots and hats and run out the door for are going to be happening, and you're going to have a lot more interaction with people. Now, I don't know what you can find in that, Ernesto, but if you got anything, go ahead and give it to her.
Okay, so about just like stagnancy, that's what you were picking up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm taking a look here, and what I get is the question that I'm asking the chart is sort of what we asked a question previous in the show was, how do I get back to my old self? How do I feel unstuck? How do I, just feel good about myself, like that, just in a general sense. So, and then I did ask a separate question about the relationship piece, and I may or may not get into that depending on what we talk about here. So what I will say that for you, Filson, is how you can very much get back into sorts again is you've got like you need to get yourself out there more, like change up your social connections, getting around new energy, new people. This can also bring some new ideas, some new thought. This is going to be the way that you would benefit the most. I do believe that this will also play a little bit into like a relationship, but don't run away with that and like a super excited, like, oh my God, I'm going to get married kind of thing. I think this is more like, just even a friend that you pal around with. And this is going to have to do with more spiritual types of things. So this is somebody that perhaps you would go into like, I don't know, a Kundalini meditation class or yoga class, or, you're going to go and learn about psychic development, or you're going to take tarot card classes together, something where you're going to be able to develop that spiritual or psychic sense of yourself, that this is going to be a person that you'll be able to do that with. I don't know if you have anybody like that in your life right now, but you need to introduce more of that in your life. That's something that you would absolutely benefit from, is to bring in more of those types of characters. And I do think that that will lead into, like opening up your mind about like, oh, so that's what a love relationship is going to look like. And it'll give you a better spidey sense about how this person is going to come to you and when you first meet and all of that kind of stuff. So I think that's going to be the big thing for you right now, as far as like the general reading is concerned, is, like really focus on getting the spiritual side of yourself just really expanded in as many possible ways as what you can, because you're a sponge and you can soak up so much information. We all go through this period in our lives where that spiritual side of ourselves opens up, and there is a really ripe period or window of time that happens for all of us, but only one time for probably about 18 months or so, where we are just more receptive to everything, where we can do that data dump and receive that information more so than what we ever could before. Because we can present ideas to you and you can learn these concepts, but whether or not they stick is a different thing. So this is that time where we want to fill your head with as much information as what we can. We'll see what sticks, and I can tell you in the future you may at least be able to refer to it back when you may need it. So that's going to be the takeaway for the love reading is, really focus on the spiritual side of yourself. And I think all that other stuff will fall into place the way that you're wanting it to.
Perfect. Thank you very much, both of you. And I appreciate it.
Absolutely. It was great to have you on the show. We'll catch up with you real soon. Until next time, many blessings.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and we want to thank all of our guests for being on our
90
show today.
seconds.
Looks like we're going to be running out of time pretty soon here. For all other things Uranian Astrology, be sure to go over to eastrologer.tv, and you can check out Veretta at verettavision.com. We will be back with you guys on Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. That is going to be on the 19th for another 1-hour program. And remember to go out to eastrologer.tv and leave us a review. We really do appreciate your feedback. It does make a difference when we hear back from you. It really does make us feel appreciated here on this side. And as always, Veretta, thank you so much for joining us.
60 seconds.
It is a pleasure, and we love so much to have you here and what we do together.
Thank you. Well, I enjoy it myself. So look forward to seeing everybody online next week. And
thanks so much for a terrific Subscriber Sunday, everybody. And I know, Donna, you didn't have your hand up, but I just want to say hi to you as well and to all of our other people who came out we were just too busy to get to you today. So thank you so much, everybody. We will catch up with you soon. Until next time, good luck and Godspeed.
Bye-bye.